Welcome back, Campfire Crew. Gather round as we ignite the flames of mystery and suspense. From chilling true crime tales to eerie stories that send shivers down your spine, you're in for a night of dark discoveries. So get comfortable and let the campfire light guide you through the shadows of this cruel world. California, land of dreams and nightmares. Behind the glitz and glamour lies a darker reality where the veil between our world and the next wears thin. But before we begin our journey, a word of warning. We've saved the most chilling destination for last. A place so haunted, so steeped in misery and despair, that even hardened skeptics have been known to question their disbelief. Imagine a place where the walls themselves seem to whisper with the voices of the damned, where America's most notorious criminals were cut off from the world, leaving nothing but their darkest thoughts and deepest regrets to echo through time. In the shadow of the Sierra Nevada, the old jail museum in Truckee stands as a monument to frontier justice, and perhaps to those who never found their way to the other side. Built in 1875, these walls have witnessed the despair of the condemned for nearly a century. But some say that the anguish of those long-dead prisoners lingers still. Visitors report bone-chilling cold spots that defy explanation, even on the warmest summer days. I was in one of the cells, just trying to imagine what it was like for the prisoners. Suddenly the temperature dropped so fast I could see my breath. Then I heard this whisper right in my ear, clear as day, saying, "Get out." My blood ran cold, and before I even knew what was happening, I found myself panting, running out of the prison. I've never run so fast in my life. San Francisco, a city of hills and history where the fog rolls in. And sometimes it brings company. The Ghost Hunt walking tour of Pacific Heights peels back the layers of this picturesque neighborhood to reveal a darker underbelly. As you tread these misty streets, each grand Victorian mansion tells a tale of tragedy. Each shadow holds a secret. But two locations on this tour stand out for their particularly active residents. This testimony was sent in by a viewer. "I thought it was all going to be stories and atmosphere, you know. But when we got to the mansion's hotel, I felt someone grab my shoulder. I turned around, thinking it was another tour member, but there was no one there. There was no other explanation for the phantom hand that touched me. Every time I see a hotel, that feeling returns. I still get goosebumps thinking about it." In the heart of Los Angeles stands a hotel with a history so dark, it inspired a season of American Horror Story. The Cecil Hotel, opened in 1927, has been the site of numerous suicides, murders, and other violent deaths. Its reputation is so notorious that some call it Hotel Death. In 2013, the hotel became the center of a baffling mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student, disappeared during her stay at the Cecil. The last known footage of her alive shows her behaving erratically in the hotel elevator, appearing to hide from someone or something. Here is the testimony of one of the hotel's staff. "I was doing a late-night check of the hallways when I saw a woman in old-fashioned clothes walk into a room. I knocked to make sure everything was okay, but when the guest opened the door, they were alone. The room was empty except for them. I believe the old-fashioned person I saw must have been some apparition, a spirit somehow caught between this world and the next." In the heart of Tinseltown, where dreams come to life on the silver screen, lies a place where the stars of yesterday still shine, albeit from beyond the grave. Welcome to Hollywood Forever Cemetery, the final resting place of cinema's greatest legends. This paranormal investigator shares his story. "We were near Rudolph Valentino's crypt when our EMF meter went crazy. Then, I kid you not, We all heard what sounded like 1920s music playing faintly. It lasted for about 30 seconds before fading away. There was no one else in the cemetery but us. We were all excited by what had happened, but once one person mentioned leaving, we fled. It's hard to think for so long about what you would do in a situation like that, where the paranormal is manifesting, only to run away when it comes near. That was my last investigation. I sold my equipment and joined a local church. On the sun-drenched shores of San Diego stands a testament to Victorian splendor and luxury. The Hotel del Coronado, opened in 1888, has played host to presidents, royalty, and Hollywood elite. But among its illustrious guests, one has chosen to make the hotel her eternal home. One visitor to the Del Coronado Hotel shared their story with us. I woke up in the middle of the night and saw a woman in an old-fashioned dress standing at the foot of my bed. She looked so sad. I blinked and she was gone. The next morning I saw a picture of Kate Morgan in the hotel's museum. It was her, I'm certain of it. I wonder what could have left her trapped. What if the moments right after death might be the only chance we have to pass from this world to the next without being trapped forever? Perched on a hill overlooking the small town of Ione stands a looming red brick structure that seems to radiate an aura of despair. This is Preston Castle, once a reform school for California's most troubled youth, now a hotbed of paranormal activity. We found this testimony and we would like to share it with you now. We were in the kitchen where Anna Corbin was murdered. I called out to her, asking for a sign. Suddenly, every pot and pan in the room started rattling. Then a knife flew across the room and stuck in the wall. I've never experienced anything like it before or since. In the desolate hills east of the Sierra Nevada lies a town frozen in time. Bodie, once a booming gold mining settlement, now stands as one of the best preserved ghost towns in America. But ghost town might be a more literal description than you'd think. One of the staff in this town has shared this story with the world. I was locking up one of the buildings at dusk when I heard piano music coming from inside. Clear as day, old-timey saloon music. I rushed back in thinking someone had snuck past me, but the place was empty. The piano was covered in decades of dust. It couldn't have been played. Our journey now takes us to the port of Long Beach, where the majestic Queen Mary has been permanently docked since 1967. Once a luxury ocean liner and a World War II troop transport, she now serves as a hotel, and possibly one of the most haunted places in California. Sometimes some unlucky visiting soul has an experience in these haunted places. Still, this testimony, like so many others, comes from the staff, one who unknowingly shares their space with apparitions all too often. I was doing a night shift in the engine room when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around expecting to see my co-worker, but there was no one there. Then I heard a young man's voice say, "Watch that door, mate." A moment later, the watertight door slammed shut with no warning. If I hadn't moved, I'd have been crushed. My life was saved by whatever that was. I am grateful, but I still wonder what slammed the door. Is there a cosmic war in the ethereal plane? Or was it the same thing that saved me? Was it a prank from beyond the grave? As we near the top of our list, we come to one of the strangest buildings in America, the Winchester Mystery House. Built by Sarah Winchester, widow of the Winchester rifle magnate, this mansion defies logic and reason. I was leading a group through the séance room when all the candles suddenly lit themselves. Then we heard what sounded like a woman weeping. It lasted for about a minute, then everything went quiet. Even the skeptics in the group were shaken. I'd seen and experienced things before, but nothing so undeniable as this. We've reached the top of our list, and it's a place that needs no introduction. Alcatraz Island, the infamous federal prison that operated from 1934 to 1963, now stands as a chilling reminder of America's darkest criminals and the price of freedom. A prison guard recalls, "It was a cold night in '62. I was doing my rounds when I heard a terrible scream coming from the D block. I ran over thinking a fight had broken out, but when I got there, all the prisoners were asleep. As I turned to leave, I felt an icy hand on my neck. I spun around, but there was nothing there, just empty cells and silence. I could still feel the cold grip on my neck. I stood there, still, waiting for it to dissipate until it finally did. God only knows what that was. I question myself often, but when I think back, there is no denying what happened." And there you have it, thrill seekers, the top 10 scariest destinations in California. From haunted hotels to ghostly prisons, from cursed towns to eerie mansions, the Golden State offers a wealth of options for those brave enough to explore its darker side. As the fire dies down and the shadows fade, we thank you for joining us on this journey through the unknown. If you enjoyed tonight's tales, don't let the fire go out. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep the flames of mystery burning bright. Until next time, Campfire Crew, stay safe and we'll see you by the fire.